Okay, so we're back. We're back. Next is our anti-anginal drugs. Now, what is angina? Angina pectoris or angina is chest pain caused by decreased oxygen towards the heart tissue. Now, I want to discuss this in depth, but unfortunately, this will be discussed in your MS pa. So let's have a very short lang pathophysiology of your angina. Okay, angina, ha? Now, there are two main etiologies or two main causes for angina. The first type of angina is vasospastic. Okay? Now, before I discuss vasospastic, let me discuss how the structure first. Now, this is your aorta. Your aorta will terminate into two coronary arteries, the left and the right ones. And kining imo mga coronary arteries, they will supply oxygen to the heart itself. Now, the heart also needs oxygen, di ba? The heart also needs oxygen. So, it will supply oxygenated blood to your heart. Now, there are two etiologies, as I've said before. The vasospastic and the other one is your atherosclerotic. Okay? Atherosclerotic. Now, here is the problem. When we say vasospastic, there is, listen to me, there is narrowing of the aortic, not aortic, the coronary artery. There is narrowing of the coronary artery. Ay, sumto. Gago. No. So, vasospastic. So, narrowing of the coronary artery. Now, it's like this. If this is your coronary artery, when we say narrowing, class, mugamay siya. It will constrict. Now, blood can still flow. Blood will still flow. But obviously, there is a decrease now in cardiac output. Gamay na lang o blood nga mo flow. There is a decreased amount of blood that will flow because there is a decrease in cardiac in the space, in your blood vessel, so it's constricted. The other one, class, is atherosclerotic. Okay? If this is your coronary artery, there is a development of what we call atherosclerotic plaques. Okay, kani. Now, kini mga atherosclerotic plaques na to, class, okay? They are fat deposits. Fat deposits, Kini siya, class, mga cholesterol ni siya, class, cholesterol, Cholesterol that clumped up, during cholesterol that clumped up and became what we call an obstruction. So, blood will be able to flow. Blood will be able to flow, but gamay na lang ang makagawas. There is also what we call a decrease in cardiac output. Okay, dili na carbon dioxide, cardiac output na. Now, what happens there is this. Okay, if there is a decrease in cardiac output, there will be a decrease in oxygen to the heart, in this instance, And if there is decreased oxygen to the heart will undergo what we call anaerobic respiration. Now, what is anaerobic respiration? Basically, it will use fats as a source of energy. It will use fats as a source of energy. What happens there is this, it will undergo what we call glycogenolysis, which is breaking down glycogen into glucose. Okay? And that glucose is now our source of energy. But this process, mga good class, anaerobic respiration, has a byproduct called lactic acidosis. Lactic acid. Okay? This is the byproduct. Mura bito siya sobra. It's the byproduct. And lactic acid is painful. Painful to the muscles. Painful to the muscles. So that is the reason why there is anginal pain or anginal chest pain. Okay? That's the reason why there is angina. No? So that is a very simple, very crude overview of what we call our angina. No? So our anti-anginal drugs have two main methods. No? The main problem mo good with angina, the main problem, ato lang isuwat diri ha, ato sa save B. The main problem with angina is that there is decreased oxygen to the heart. There is decreased oxygen to the heart. So, our anti-anginal drugs will either, listen to me ha, it will either, close there, decrease the oxygen demand of the heart or increase oxygen supply. Now, the main type of drug or classification of drug that we use to increase oxygen supply is our nitrates. Okay, our nitrates, mga good class, their main function is they will promote vasodilation. And if vasodilated gani class, there will be an increase in cardiac output. No? The main way that we decrease oxygen demand is through our beta blockers and calcium channel blockers. These types of drugs tend to decrease heart rate and they will decrease contractility. And because of these two, there will be a decrease in oxygen demand. Oxygen demand. Okay, there will be a decrease in oxygen demand. Now, let's talk about our nitrate first. There are 3 nitrates that we have to talk about, no? But we are focused on one, the nitroglycerin. So, first is our nitroglycerin. This is the name of the drug, ha? It's not in yellow lang, but it's the name of the drug. We have our isosorbide mononitrate, and then our isosorbide dinitrate. Now, nitroglycerin class is a fast-acting nitrate. No, usually it is used for emergencies, for anginal attacks. Usually the effect starts at around 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, 2 to 3 minutes. We also have our isosorbide mononitrate and dinitrate. These are intermediate acting, around 3 to 4 hours. This is used for prevention of anginal attacks. Prevention of anginal attacks, gini siya. The mechanism of action here is that it will cause generalized, I want to highlight generalized vascular and coronary vasodilation. So it will vasodilate, it will increase the diameter, no, of our blood vessels, which increases blood flow or blood output or cardiac output through the coronary arteries to the myocardial cells. Ang problema ni class is this general vasodilation. When we say general vasodilation, class, it means that all blood vessels will vasodilate. So expect that if there is vasodilation, there is also a decrease in blood pressure. There is a decrease in blood pressure. Okay? So, when you are taking nitrates, it's important to monitor the heart rate and the BP, especially, lagyan mo yan ng star, monitor the blood pressure. Okay? Our nitroglycerin is a very common nitrate, no? It's usually taken sublingually or under the tongue, di ba? Under the tongue yan, under the tongue. Now, the reason why we have to take it sublingually is we want it to be absorbed into circulation. We don't want it to go through your PO because we do not want the first pass effect. We want it to be absorbed faster and at a greater effect. So that's why we give it sublingually. This can also be taken topically as an ointment or transdermally as a what we call a patch. No, we call this patch our NTG patch or nitroglycerin patch. And this can also be used as an aerosol spray. But wala jud, or there is very few nitroglycerin tablets. Gamay ra gid ka na. It's very rare that we use the tablet form, no? Usually, class, it is sublingual. Now, at home, class, no, since this is an emergency drug as well, in case of an anginal attack or if anginal pain occurs at home, then we have to follow what we call our administration protocol. Natay protocol class or sequence of steps. Now, if anginal pain occurs at home, the first thing that you should do, and I did not put it here, is rest. Okay? If, for example, class, nag-rest ang pasyente and still there is pain, then you will take or you will let them take the first dose. Okay? And then, wait 5 minutes. That is crucial, class, 5 minutes, because as I mentioned before, the action is around 2 to 3 minutes. The action starts, no? So wait for 5 minutes. Now, after taking the first dose, if the pain is relieved, then good. Monitor for side effects. Wala na kayo buhaton. There's nothing to do, nothing else to do, no? So the side effects include dizziness, faintness, and headaches. This is usually associated by a decrease in BP. If decrease gani ang BP, class, expected. It is expected that there will be dizziness, faintness, and headaches. However, if the pain continues or persists, then take the second dose and call 911. This is very crucial, class. Dapat lagyan mo yan ng star. Lagyan mo yan ng star, call 911. The reason why we want to call 911 is because it means that the first dose did not have an effect on the pain. So, kuwang right, did not have an effect on the pain. We need to call 911 in case the patient passes out, no? And then wait another 5 minutes for the second dose to have its effect. If the second dose has its effect and the pain is relieved, then okay, monitor for side effects again, as I've said, no? Monitor for side effects. But if the pain still persists, take the third dose and then go to the hospital. Why go to the hospital? So that you can have proper medical assessment, because it might have developed into what we call our myocardial infarction. Myocardial infarction is a complication of our angina, no? It is a complication of our coronary artery disease. So we don't want that, no? Usually, mga good class, at home, the maximum dose that you can take is 3 doses. Kini mo maximum dose ma-take, no? And it is gap, no, na siya tag 5 minutes nga gap. Okay? So muna siyang atong administration protocol. So nitroglycerin nursing considerations. Number 1, nitroglycerin must be kept in an airtight, opaque container in a dark, dry closet. When we say opaque, I am referring to those bottles, the medication bottles that have orange tint or brown tint, no? This is because nitroglycerin will decompose, or it will decompose when exposed to heat and light, no? Actually, since this is an emergency drug, one of the things that you need to do is obviously, since this is an emergency drug, patients will carry it around, no? Ilan ni aldadon, they will carry it around all over the place. So what you need to instruct them is you need to tell the patient you have to put it in your pockets. No, don't leave it around kanang mga warm places, mga places with light, no? Put it in your pockets or put it in your bag somewhere dark, somewhere that is cool, no, so that it will not decompose. Okay? Another thing about nitroglycerin is if you are carrying it around like every day, or if the patient is carrying it around, then ask them not to put it in their car. Ayaw ipabutang sa sakyanan. Do not let them keep it in their car, because a car, mga good class, when you leave it alone, it tends to be warm. Ano, manginit na siya. When discontinuing, class, the dosage must be tapered, especially for transdermal or ointment, because this is to prevent rebound vasoconstriction. As I mentioned before, nitroglycerin is a potent vasodilator, and if you suddenly stop it, muna siya keyword, suddenly stop it, then it will cause rebound vasoconstriction, wherein all of your blood vessels will suddenly vasoconstrict, and that's bad. That will raise your BP very, very high. No, so what you need to do is you need to taper it, slowly decrease the dose. So let's say, for example, today the dose is 50 milligrams, then tomorrow you will give, let's say, 40, and then the day after that 30. You will slowly decrease the dose, no? And then you have to watch out for headache. This is the most common side effect, and hypotension, no? So these are side effects of nitroglycerin. What you need to do is then you just let them rest. Let the patient rest lang. Okay? Let the patient rest. Nga naman, rest will decrease Rest will decrease oxygen demand. This will decrease oxygen demand. Ayan. Okay. Another is we have to check for postural BP. The way we check for postural BP is we have to check their blood pressure while lying down and then check their blood pressure while sitting. If the sitting blood pressure is decreased, then it might be a sign of orthostatic hypotension or otherwise known as your postural hypotension. So, postural hypotension, class, you've all experienced it before. Kana bitong when you're lying down, let's say for 30 minutes, and then you suddenly stand up, you get dizzy. No, that is postural hypotension. No? So, what you need to do, what you need to instruct the patient is you need to tell them to rise slowly from lying down. So, rise slowly from lying down. When you are applying nitroglycerin skin patch, apply it on hairless area while wearing gloves. This is the key here, wearing gloves. Ang tendency mang good class is if you apply it, no, without wearing gloves, chances are the nitroglycerin will enter your body or enter the nurse's body. Enter the nurse's body, and then the nurse will have the high nitroglycerin. So wear gloves, no. We will apply it on the chest wall and arms. Apply in the morning. The reason why we want to apply it in the morning is because in the morning, manggod class, if we apply it, no, there is a what do you call that? This will decrease, no, the chances of palpitation. This will cause palpitation, manggod, because if there is a decrease in blood pressure, if there is a decrease in blood pressure, listen ha. If there is a decrease in BP, no, it will cause an increase in heart rate. And heart rate increases, manggod, can cause palpitation. So we don't want our palpitations in the evening. Gusto ta nga sa, if makaya, sa buntag na lang. So para, if in the morning, because if you give nitroglycerin in the evening, they might not be able to sleep. Okay, and then rotate site. So you will not use the same site over and over again. It will irritate the receptors, no? So rotate site. So today sa chest, tomorrow sa arms na pod, and then the next day in the chest na pod. Ano ba? You have to rotate, no? Another drug that we can use for angina is our beta blockers and our calcium channel blockers. Now our beta blockers and calcium channel blockers, no, they are antihypertensive drugs, but I will discuss to you their effect in our what we call angina. Okay, our angina. Now, ani na siya class, okay, it's like this. The sympathetic, normally wala pa drugs. Without drugs yet. We're not discussing drugs yet. The sympathetic nervous system is activated by your epinephrine and norepinephrine, as I mentioned before. Okay? This epinephrine and norepinephrine will bind to the receptor sites, your alpha receptor, your beta-1 receptor, and then your beta-2 receptor found in the lungs. Okay? Our beta blockers job is very simple, class. Ang trabaho sa itong beta blockers is very simple. Okay? It will block the beta sites or the beta receptors. No, it will block the beta receptors. Now, normally, patay drugs or without drugs, normally, without drugs, the beta receptors, when activated, will increase the BP, increase the heart rate, increase the contractility. No, increase the contractility. Now, our beta blockers class, there are two types. Okay? The first type is our non-selective beta blocker, which blocks both B1 and B2. Okay? This is our propranolol, nadolol, pindolol. Now, these are our non-selective. The one that we will use for our anti-angina, as an anti-angina, is our cardioselective, because we don't want to have an effect on the lungs. We only want to have an effect on the heart, no? So our cardioselective beta blockers will only block B1. So if we block B1, like for example, our metoprolol and our atenolol will block B1, okay? What happens is there will not be an increase in BP, rather there will be a decrease in BP. There will be a decrease in heart rate, and there will be a decrease in myocardial contractility. And as I've said before, a decrease in contractility and a decrease in heart rate will decrease the oxygen demand. And if there is decreased oxygen demand, there is more oxygen for the heart. there is more oxygen for the heart. So that is how our beta blockers work, no? But typically speaking, our beta blockers class, they are anti-hypertensives. Anti-hypertensives. They can also be used as anti-arrhythmics, no? But they can also be used as anti-anginals. Actually, they can also even be used for heart failure, no? They can also be used for heart failure. Dagan sila gamit, no? So our beta blockers, the drugs ending in olol. Okay? The next one class is our calcium channel blockers. These are the drugs that end in dipine. Like for example, our amlodipine, our nifedipine, no? But some drugs do not conform to this naming. For example, class, our diltiazem is a calcium channel blocker, but it does not end in dipine. Now, ako i-discuss to you atong calcium channel blocker. Okay, I will delete this first. Ayan. Now, normally, without drugs pa ha, normally, the calcium, as I mentioned before, will enter the cardiac myocytes through your calcium channel. Because the calcium is inside the cell, it will activate myocardial contraction, so the heart will contract. Now, if this is overstimulated, it will cause vasospasms. Okay, vasospasms, especially in your blood vessels, or constriction in your blood vessels. And if there is constriction, there will be an increase in BP. Okay? If this occurs in your coronary, if there is contraction in your coronary, then the vasospasm may result in vasospastic angina or constriction of your coronary and coronary artery. Now, as the name implies, our calcium channel blocker, its action is to block the calcium channel. So, if you block the calcium channel class, listen ha, calcium cannot enter the myocyte, and therefore it cannot cause contraction. And as I've said before, if there is no contraction, there will be decreased contraction. There will also be a decrease in oxygen demand. Okay? It will also prevent, it will also stop the vasospasm, so it will open up. It will prevent the vasospasm, so there will be no vasospastic angina. It will dilate, It will dilate the coronary. Okay? And then it will also prevent the increase in BP, so there will be no increase in BP. That is how our calcium channel blockers work. Okay, in a basic sense. I will discuss this in depth, about once we reach our antihypertensives. But basically, the action is the same, However, our calcium channel blockers are for vasospastic angina only. Do not give this to our atherosclerotic. Okay, do not give this to our atherosclerotic angina. It will not have an effect. Okay. Now, if you have listened, class, if you have listened, I want you to pause the video right now and think about this next question. Okay, what disease that we have discussed today is contraindicated for calcium channel blockers? Okay, or which disease do you not give calcium channel blockers? Sige, tagantang mo time. Morag si Dora ba? Okay, class, you do not give calcium channel blockers to a patient with heart failure. Because a patient with heart failure, ang iyang main problem with heart failure is, as I mentioned, the main problem is what we call weakened contractions. Weakened contractions. Yan. And if you give them calcium channel blockers, which will stop contractions, ang ending, class, the ending is the heart will not contract anymore. Diba? The heart will not contract anymore. And with that, class, we are done. Thank you for watching, and please study in advance for our next meeting.